Hey, high school dropout. Try greeting in French. Huh? You can't do it because you're just a high school dropout, huh? My sister, laughing, prompted me to introduce myself in French. She must think I'm barely competent in French because I'm just a high school graduate. To her, I replied with a smile. Got it. Leave it to me. Ignoring my surprised sister, I began revealing her secrets in French. I'm Jessica Wood, 28 years old. Born into a typical American white-collar family. I have a younger sister, Emily, 3 years my junior. My dad is a middle management executive, and my mom, now a part-timer, used to be a homemaker. Emily, unlike me, was cherished by our parents since she was little. Mom, unable to attend college due to family circumstances, was determined to ensure her children went to college. However, as the eldest daughter, I wasn't academically inclined. By the time I reached the 3rd grade, my parents had given up on the idea of sending me to college. In contrast, Emily was smart and fairly pretty from a young age. So, our parents doted on her, the more capable child. They sent her to a prestigious private middle school, while I attended the local public middle school. Emily, unlike me, was accepted into a prestigious private high school, but I ended up at a public high school known locally for its troubled students. You're just not cut out for academics. We'll let you finish high school, but after that, you're on your own. We're saving our money for Emily, my mom said. Dad just nodded in agreement. So, after high school, I had to start working. But I had no idea what to do, as everyone around me went off to college. Feeling lost, I managed to get a job at a delivery company, thanks to a recommendation from a high school teacher. They had a dormitory, so I decided to move out. It was supposed to be for Emily's sake, but she herself said, I've always disliked you. Dumb and ugly, I just wished you'd disappear. Thanks for leaving so soon. Far from feeling sorry, she was actually spiteful. I was so frustrated I cried, but I resolved to live on my own terms. Years passed, and Emily graduated from Harvard and joined a well-known multinational trading company. I hadn't returned home since leaving, but occasional messages and photos from Emily kept me somewhat updated on the family. Dad was laid off due to poor company performance and now worked behind the scenes at a local supermarket. Mom continued working part-time. Emily did offer some financial support, but mostly spent her money on spas and yoga classes, so Mom couldn't quit her job. One summer, Emily insisted I come home, so I did. For the first time in about 8 years. I didn't want to return at all. Arriving home, I said I'm back, but got no response. As expected. So I just went in and found my parents and Emily. You didn't have to come back. Emily's being nice letting you in this house. Be thankful to her, Mom said harshly. Mom had aged as expected over the years. What, no gifts? You're still a disappointment, Dad added. His hairline had receded noticeably. Seeing how much they'd changed, I felt the weight of my absence. Emily, lounging on the sofa, glared at me and said, still as ugly as ever, huh? Living in the countryside, eating nothing but potatoes? Fits a clumsy sister like you. Anyway, why don't you sit over there, pointing with her chin to a spot? I wanted to retort, you haven't changed either, but held back. I didn't want to tell her, but since it's a celebration, I thought I'd share. A celebration? Don't tell me you're getting married? Exactly that. And guess what? He's the president of a major French food import company. A foreigner living in France. He's a really nice guy. He's gonna take care of us, even building us a mansion in France after we marry. Despite it being Emily's fiancé who's doing everything, Dad said it with an air of importance. That's right. Who would have thought we'd be living in France? Good thing we put our hopes in Emily. If we'd relied on you, nothing like this would have happened. Mom also started laughing, her nostrils flaring wide. I guess they were overjoyed. But you know, this has nothing to do with you. However, if you pay your own way to France, we might let you stay cheaply. Emily laughed along with Mom. They don't realize that leaving America is the greatest happiness for me. That's all you wanted to say? You called me back just for this? What? Just say congrats. We're having a family gathering to celebrate, and you have to show up. Is it okay for me to join? We have to, in front of the relatives. Put on a show of a happy family. I see, got it. It was expected, but hearing it face to face was infuriating. Emily works in a trading company, dealing with foreign food imports. And is fluent in French. And as I said before, I'm just a high school grad. Emily always looked down on me for it. I'm embarrassed to even mention I have a high school dropout sister. I wish you weren't part of our family. If you feel that way, go ahead. It's not that simple. That's why it's a hassle. I don't care. I've been on my own since high school. Your life is none of my business. Huh? We're family, legally. I'll allow minimal interaction. Sure, let's do that. Anyway, once Emily marries, we're moving to France. You'll be on your own here in the States, Dad said. Ever been overseas? No way. I don't even have a passport. Going abroad is great. I know because I've traveled a lot, both for work and leisure. Emily started bragging again. I've traveled the world, but France is special. Everything is picturesque, so foreign. Well, it's a foreign country, that's to be expected. Overseas is nice, but Southeast Asia is a no. Places like Thailand or the Philippines are okay for tourism, but I hate seeing all the poor people in the countryside. Then why not pay more for their produce, help their economy? It's hard for them, no work at home, so they go abroad to earn. Living is tough for everyone, they're just the exception. Seeing my annoyance, Emily glared at me. You seem like you have something to say. People in Southeast Asia work hard too. Many work at my factory. So, you're just like them, working in a factory. Stay with your kind. I'm a winner, you're a loser. I was close to tears. But soon she'll be gone from America. That thought comforted me. Back from home, at work the next day, my colleague Maya noticed my gloom. What's wrong, Jessica? You look down. Maya, from Malaysia. Works in the US to support her sister's education and family. She and her sister are my age. She struggles with reading and writing English but speaks it fluently. Ah, Maya, sorry. Just some family stuff. If it helps, I can listen. Or we can go for a drink. Thanks for caring. Maya treats me like a sister, as her own sister and I are the same age. Maya is usually quiet and hardworking, well-liked at work because of her serious nature. One day, I received an email from Emily. I have to entertain a foreign buyer. There are tourist spots near your workplace, perfect for the occasion. Can you arrange everything? Actually, just do it. Indeed, there are famous tourist spots near my workplace. I know which hotels are reputable, and I'm familiar with both popular and hidden gems. I didn't like her bossy attitude, but I didn't want to deal with the hassle of refusing. If it doesn't interfere with my work, I thought it'd be okay to help, so I told Emily that. On the appointed day, Emily arrived with the foreigner. He was younger than I expected, a handsome guy with beautiful blonde hair. Nice to meet you. I'm William. Born in the US, so I speak English pretty well. Relieved he spoke English, I was about to guide them in my car when Emily snapped. What's this, a compact car? Yes, but is there a problem? It's disrespectful to put a guest in a car like this. I live alone in the countryside, so this size is convenient for me. If you don't like it, arrange something yourself, I thought, but kept quiet to avoid trouble. No, it's a cute car. I love compact cars. William surprisingly said. Compact cars are a brilliant invention. Especially popular mini-trucks in France. Emily was displeased, but William seemed happy, so we left ignoring her opinion. William shared a lot with me. His dad's relocation brought his family to the US, where he was born. He studied in America in college, wanting to work related to the US, and now he's handling American affairs in his company. He talked a lot, mostly to me, which made Emily increasingly unhappy. When we arrived at the tourist spot, she said, I'll take over from here, just grab some food and wait. At the hotel, that's enough for today. Come pick us up at 8 a.m. tomorrow, she said dismissively. But soon, another email from Emily. There's something to talk about. Come now. Knowing arguing would only make things worse, I reluctantly went to her. "You're here. Let's go somewhere else to talk." I followed Emily to a nearby diner. She lectured me, "Don't embarrass me. And don't flirt with William." Both accusations were baseless. "Don't put my guest in a compact car. Rent a luxury car, it's common sense. And don't talk too much to William. He's my guest, and you're just a driver. Just drive and guide without extra chatter. You're not in a position to talk to William." So she said. I responded nonchalantly and tuned her out. It's hard to believe she's getting married. I felt sorry for her partner, wondering if he's like her. But it's none of my business. After her long lecture, I finally returned, and there was Maya. "Welcome back, Jessica. You're late. You look troubled. What happened?" Just tired from talking to Emily." "How about we have a drink in my room? I made some Malaysian dishes. Let's eat together." "Malaysian cuisine? Sounds delicious. I'd love to join." After having a light dinner with Maya in the room, I suddenly craved something sweet, so I went out to the convenience store. Arriving at the store and about to enter, I recognized a familiar face inside. It was my sister Emily. And next to her was a man I had never seen before. They seemed close, but could he be her fiancé? She said her fiancé was a foreigner, but this man looked definitely American. I knew Emily was here for business, but why was she with another man in such a place? As I pondered this and stopped, the two of them came out of the store, and I quickly hid. "Are you sure I can trust you?" "Don't worry. Even if I get married, I plan to divorce soon, within a year, and return to America. Then I can live with you. I'll get money from the alimony and division of property. Everything is going according to plan." I was shocked to hear Emily's words about her plan. "That's clever of you, elite lady, to come up with such a scheme. It's your fault for making me feel this way," Emily said about the man, named Takashi, who then silently pulled her chin and kissed her, not caring that they were outside. I recorded their conversation on my smartphone camera, feeling like I had done a good job. I finished shopping at the convenience store and hurried back to the dorm. Even after returning, my heart was still racing from what I had seen. As time passed, I couldn't forget the shocking event. Then I received news about a family gathering to celebrate Emily's engagement. Honestly, I didn't want to go, but since it was a family event, I felt obligated to attend. My mother was very proud of Emily's engagement to a foreign company president. Emily's fiancé is a French company president. They plan to build a mansion in France after getting married. And then, we're all going to live there together. Next year, we'll be in France. My mother was more talkative than usual, perhaps due to the alcohol. Emily was also in a good mood, smiling broadly. "He's the president of a company that does business with mine. I handled their account and got close to him, leading to the proposal. He said I was as beautiful as a doll." Emily's boastful talk seemed ridiculous to me. I was drinking alone at a distant seat, but Emily approached me. "Why are you sitting alone? You won't find a president, but maybe you'll manage to find a plain man." Even though I ignored her, she continued, "Well, we'll be living in France after getting married. We plan to sell the family home and move to France, so you'll have no home to return to. You should just live on your own. It's none of our concern. Feel free. I don't need to be treated like family anymore." That sounds like sour grapes to me. "Well, I'll live my life my way, so please stop interfering. That's my line. Don't expect anything from my wealthy husband just because we're family. I wouldn't dream of it. Just make sure you don't end up divorcing quickly and returning to America." "What are you saying? That's rude." "Oh, did I hit a nerve? What are you talking about? We're going to swear eternal love before God." "You don't believe in God, but you're making vows to him? What a farce. I have that much feeling. Whatever you say sounds like a loser's howling." Our voices got louder, and we were eventually stopped by people around us, but Emily's panic suggested the previous conversation was true. Finally, Emily's fiancé was coming to America. Emily and our parents went to the airport to pick him up, but I was to meet him at a family dinner. On the day of the dinner, I headed to the designated hotel. As usual, my parents were unpleasant. The banquet was held in a private room of a traditional restaurant, with Emily and Jack already seated when we arrived. It was my first time meeting Jack. He seemed like a genuinely nice guy, 38 years old. Upon our entrance, Jack, with a friendly smile and somewhat awkward English, greeted, "Nice to meet you, I'm Jack." Emily then fluently introduced our parents in French. When it was time to introduce me, Emily smirked unpleasantly. "Come on, high school grad. Greet him in French, will you?" Facing Emily's mocking, I smiled back and said, "Okay." After a brief cough, I began speaking in French. "Welcome to America, Mr. Jack. My name is Jessica, Emily's sister. I currently work at an American delivery company. Emily has been hiding a secret from you, which I will now explain." "Eh? How can you speak French?" "Oh, a Malaysian colleague at my workplace taught me. Might have a bit of an accent." Indeed, I had been learning French from Maya. Although Malay is Malaysia's official language, Maya was also fluent in French. During breaks and days off, I learned French from Maya. I've always liked French, often watching movies and dramas, and now I use online videos to study. "I see you've studied, but what secret are you talking about? The past bullying? That's ancient history," Emily began to rant. "No, not old stories. This is recent." Jack looked puzzled as we spoke in English. Then I explained in French. "Sorry. What I want to discuss is how my sister is planning to use her marriage to you for her own gain." "Her own gain? What do you mean?" Jack asked with a puzzled expression. "First, please watch this video." I showed him the video on my smartphone. It was the scene of Emily kissing Kyle in front of the convenience store, which I had accidentally recorded. I translated the English conversation into French on the spot. "This was recently filmed. The woman is my sister. Her face is hard to see, but the man is Kyle, a colleague from my sister's company." I knew that much from their conversation at the time. "What does this mean?" Jack's face turned stern. "Emily, what's this about? Explain. This is fake. I only love you." As Emily, Jack, and I argued in French, our parents were confused. "You claim this video is fake, but it's enough to make me distrust you. I will conduct further investigations." As I translated for our parents, they began to panic. "Emily, is what Jessica is saying true? Isn't this just a lie Jessica made up for revenge?" My mother tried to defend Emily. "No. This is all true." "Jack, don't be deceived. Jessica is just a high school graduate with bad conduct. We disown her for this disrespectful behavior. Sorry for any inconvenience." "That's right. Jessica is just jealous of her beautiful and successful sister, trying to ruin this marriage," my father added. Of course, they were speaking English, which Jack couldn't understand. "Come on, Jessica, explain properly to Jack." "If they insist," I told Jack. "My parents are claiming my story is not true. But there's no proof to show it's a lie. On the contrary, I have this video as evidence. Which testimony do you think is true?" "I believe you, Jessica. Let's go somewhere else and you can tell me more." "Understood." With that, leaving behind my bewildered parents and wailing sister Emily, I stood up with Jack. Later, after hearing my story, Jack confronted Kyle and made him confess everything. Emily's engagement with Jack was called off due to her fault, and Jack demanded significant compensation from her and our parents. Emily, having caused trouble for her company's client and tarnishing its reputation, was fired. My parents had already sold our family home in anticipation of moving to France, but all the money went to Emily's compensation and damages. Having quit their jobs in preparation for the move to France, my parents would struggle to find work and a new home. But that was no longer my concern. Fluent in French, Emily tried to get a job in another multinational trading company, but her previous misconduct was well known due to the industry's close connections, and no one would hire her. She had no choice but to work as a cleaner in a motel. And then, surprisingly, I ended up in a relationship with William. William, who had come to America, started visiting me each time he was in the country, thanks to the help I had given him before. Recently, he even proposed to me. William, who loves America, has requested a transfer to the American branch, and we plan to live in the US after getting married. He is currently studying English intensely. When I told Maya about my engagement, she was delighted and gifted us a honeymoon trip to her homeland, Malaysia. Maya would be our guide and taxi, allowing us to tour the sites more affordably than with regular tours. With my upcoming marriage, I decided to quit my current job, but I intend to continue my friendship with Maya. My life as a high school graduate, which had its share of struggles, was about to embark on its second chapter.